Be a pretty good ball game today.
And as far as your seniors, they go out today knowing this is the final game. What can you say about a group of seniors like this for the program?
I don't even know if I have words. These guys have been just awesome. I mean, everything you've asked, they've wanted it. They set the goal. They worked for it. They achieved it. Just couldn't be happy for a group of guys and these guys and what they've accomplished this year, and it's pretty special. I know it will stay with us for a very, very, very long time.
All right, a historic season certainly for the Panthers, and Pat, congratulations to you and the team. Thanks for the time. Go out there and make it a good one here.
Hey, thanks, Roy. We'll give it our best.
All right, Pat Churchill, not only tough situation for the seniors that are playing their final game, sounds like a little bit of an emotional situation for their head coach as well. 5 starting seniors in the lineup for New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva. On the part of Lake City, he mentioned they're a young team. They've got some juniors in that starting lineup along with a couple of seniors and a very good shooting team. They shoot better than 50%. The Panthers do as well, though. Defensively, the Panthers are pretty stingy, giving up just 44 points per game. Lake City gives up about 52 points per game and only allowed 41 in yesterday's win over Jackson County Central. We'll look in a little bit more on some of those numbers, get you the lineups, and get this Consolation Championship game underway in 2 minutes on Cat Country 105. It's a cat fight for the Consolation Championship here in the AA Boys Basketball Tournament from the Gangelhoff Center at Concordia University, St. Paul. The Panthers versus the Tigers. The public address guy doing a great job getting the crowd fired up. And introducing the starting lineups. Mitch Marine, a 5'8 senior guard for Lake City. Number 3, Mitch Marine. And for the Panthers of NRHEG, a 5'11 senior guard, number 3, Jason Youngblood. For Lake City, a 6-foot freshman guard, number 4, Nathan Heisey. Countering for the Panthers is a 6-foot senior guard, number 5, Chad Agramson. For the Lake City Tigers, a 5'10 junior guard, number 11, Arcos. For the Panthers, a 5'10 senior guard, number 10, Sam Prigge. For Lake City, a 6'5 junior forward, number 24, Zach Bremer. For the Panthers, a 6'5 senior guard, number 21, Oakley Baker. And for Lake City, a 6'2 freshman forward. Boy, more freshmen than I thought on the starting lineup. I said a couple of juniors. They've got a really young team. Reed Gassner, 6'2 freshman forward, number 34. And for the Panthers, another senior standing at 6'8, Tyler Raymond, a senior center, number 43. So for the Tigers, Marine, Heisey, Coase, Bremer, and Gassner. The head coach is Greg Berge, assisted by Kirk Thornton and Trevor Narum. And for NRHEG, Youngblood, Agramson, Prigge, Baker, and Raymond, every one of them a senior. Head coach Pat Churchill, assisted by Chad Budendorf, Isaiah Lundberg, and Sam Lundberg. Some of those highlight notes for Lake City in this 7th state tournament appearance that dates back more than 100 years. They were part of the state tournament in 1915. Excellent shooting as a team. 3rd consecutive HBL Conference Championship. Shooting 43% on three-pointers, 73% from the free throw line. Mitch Marine is the school record holder for varsity games played at Lake City. This is their first state tournament appearance since 1990, and they were a state champion in 1990. In fact, Lake City has won the state title 3 times. In 1978, 1979, and 1990, they were state champions. They were at the state tournament in 1915, 1918, in 1983 besides those other opportunities. The jump ball goes out of bounds off of New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva, so the first possession of the game is going to belong to Lake City. Lake City in white, they've got the orange numbers, black trim around the numbers, and some black and orange striping up the side of the shorts. The Panthers are in black today with the red numbers trimmed in white, NRHEG, spelled out across the top of the jerseys. Heisey tries to dribble in from the left side, nothing going there. He gives it to Bremer. Bremer hands it off to Marine on the outside. Marine has averaged 15 points per game in the first 2 games of the state tournament. He's fouled on his way to the free throw line, or he's fouled on his way to the basket and will make his way to the free throw line. And the foul on NRHEG's Jason Youngblood. Boy, did Youngblood have a game yesterday. 12 points in that contest. First free throw misses for Marine. He is a 72% free throw shooter, but misses on his first one. Cat Country, KRFO, FM, Owatonna, with state tournament basketball coverage of this Consolation Championship game. Lake City scores first in the opening minute. Now the first possession for New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva. Attacking the basket to my right, inside to Prigge, outside to Agramson. Into the corner to Sam, kind of on that right wing. Tosses it out top to Oakley Baker. Baker got his noggin rocked a little bit yesterday in a collision with a player from Breckenridge. Had some ice late in the game, and he sat on the bench as Tyler Raymond scores. Tyler had a little trouble getting untracked yesterday, ended up with just 4 points in the game. But good to see that Baker doesn't have any obvious lingering effects from a late game collision that left him on the floor for a few extra seconds. There's an offensive rebound after the three-pointer misses for Lake City. Tiger basketball, 2-1, NRHEG leading. Tyler Raymond on the hoop. Raymond had a 13-13 performance in that opening game against Cathedral. 13 points, 13 rebounds. Sam Prigge is going to get called on a foul, trying to hustle over and play some defense. Didn't get his feet set as he got run into by Coase. Second foul on the Panthers. Inbound play for the Tigers right in front of head coach Pat Churchill, who stands for the Panthers. Coach Berge at the other end of the floor wearing his bright orange polo. Orange, of course, primary color for Lake City. A lot of orange shirts in the stands. White jerseys today, white uniforms on the part of the Tigers. With the ball is Marine. He'll drive in. Nice pass through the defense, but that was kicked. That ball was kicked, so it will remain Lake City ball. They'll get an inbound underneath the hoop. Stats, by the way, are brought to you by H&R Block, Owatonna, Faribault, Lakeville. Crunch time for your taxes means you need to get in touch with H&R Block. Three-point try skims off. Raymond gets the rebound. So, Tyler Raymond, who averages 8 rebounds to go with 13 points per game. And the Panthers are in the front court. Agramson to Baker. Baker to Prigge. Looks inside for Raymond. Raymond in the lane. Kicks it into the corner. Youngblood for 3. It's around and off. Tapped up and grabbed by Lake City. Jason Youngblood had a great game yesterday. Hit those 2 3-pointers early on. Ended up with 12 points in the game. And now a 2-1 lead for NRHEG. Lake City with the ball. 2.5 minutes gone by first half. On the dribble, whipped into the corner for Bremer. He'll come out around Heisey. One hand pushes it off to Gassner. Gassner, one arm, a one-hand fling. Baseline move, missed. Prigge gets the rebound on that missed shot. Dribbling underneath the hoop and then taking the shot, missing it on one end. On the other end, a three-pointer is launched by NRHEG. That's missed, rebounded by Lake City. Still 2-1, 3 minutes into this consolation final, and Oakley Baker comes out and tries to play that tight defense. That leads to a foul on Oakley. 2 players getting set to come into the game for the Panthers. As per usual, Benji Lundberg and Brady Agramson will be the first 2 in off the bench. Brady, a 6'1" sophomore guard, and Benji, a 5'10" junior guard. He hit the buzzer beater in the Cathedral game to send that one to overtime. Had 18 points in that game. And yesterday ended up with 6 points. In 2 games, Benji Lundberg has 9 assists here at the state tournament. Lake City ball, 3 minutes gone by, first half, 2-1 NRHEG. Marion pulls up, passes it over to the right side. Now they give it out to Bremer. He'll drive in, be cut off by Raymond, and so they'll start it back out top. Man-for-man defense by NRHEG. Coase on the dribble, hands it off to his left. Marine comes out of the corner, spin move up the lane around Prigge, trying to get position, can't. He'll kick it out top again. Now driving in on the right side is Coase. He's cut off, out and around Marine. Marine flings it into the corner to Heisey. Boy, quite the chess match here. I don't think they've taken a shot on this possession, which is over a minute now. Behind the back dribble by Coase. He'll pull up from 18. Miss it. Rebounded by the Panthers. Prigge. Panther ball leading 2-1. Cat Country, KRFO Owatonna, with coverage of the NRHEG boys here at the state basketball tournament as Tyler Raymond gets the quick entry pass from Oakley Baker, and it is a 4-1 lead for NRHEG. Baker had 4 assists in yesterday's game. That win over Breckenridge, big lead early. They fended off any rally the Cowboys had. With the ball, Marine drives in all the way underneath the hoop and then passes it back out top to Gassner. Now Gassner takes it inside. Again, nothing much for him there. Nice crossover by Coase, frees himself up. Missed the shot, though, from the free throw line. Long tap out is controlled by Lake City, so they'll continue this possession. 5 minutes into the first half, it's 4-1. New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva. Three-pointer off the heel of the rim. There's Prigge with another rebound. He's got nearly every rebound for the Panthers. There's a leaner at the other end by Raymond. Raymond gets fouled as well. And Tyler Raymond, who only had 4 points yesterday, now they are consulting on this. They are consulting. This is one of those calls that could be a block or it could be a charge. And I think we're going to go with the block. Either that or they were consulting on which player to have the foul on. Now wait, the basket should be good. How can the basket not be good on this play? Yeah, it's got to be a good basket. Okay, now Coach Churchill was pointing out that they didn't have the score on the board. So it's an and one opportunity for Tyler Raymond. And the foul was whistled, I think it was on Bremer. Wait for them to put it up on the board. Put it up in the wrong column on the board. But we'll get that fixed up. Raymond, just a 55% free throw shooter. And he missed. But it is 6-1. NRHEG leading 6-1. 12:40 to go in the first half. Lake City has hardly been able to get off a shot. They shoot very well percentage-wise. But the Panthers, a great defensive team, aren't even giving them a chance to get shots. Driving in. Oh, Raymond comes from the backside for a block. My goodness, Tyler Raymond, who had 5 blocks. 8 blocks between the 2 games, I should say. 8 total blocks in the 2 games already played. Panthers up 6-1 with the ball. 12 minutes remaining in the first half. Coverage this afternoon brought to you by Al's Body Shop in Ellendale and Broskopf Structures in Geneva. 6-1 Panthers. Agramson, that's Brady, bounces it inside to Raymond. Raymond hooks it up and over everything. Rebounded by Lake City. Lake City is 0 for 7 shooting. The Panthers are 3 for 6. H&R Block presenting the stats of the game. Remember, no computer program can possibly answer every tax question. Finally, a basket for Lake City. That's Zach Bremer on the hoop. It's 6-3 Panthers. 6-3 Panthers. Nice little bounce pass to Raymond, but he lost that one. It was tipped out of bounds by Lake City. By the way, any welcome home or basketball celebration for New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva is still in the discussion stages. Some of the guys want to continue to watch the state basketball tournament. Of course, the AA Championship game is tomorrow. And as I understand it, some of the girls are out of town on a Costa Rica trip Three-point effort from the left wing by Baker. Misses, rebounded by Lake City. So as a result, any sort of celebration to recognize the wonderful winter for NRHEG basketball as Marine hits a three. And now it is a 6-6 tie. Any sort of basketball celebration to recognize this fine season will be later on, and you'll certainly find out about it. We'll even let you know here on KRFO, Cat Country Radio, about any plans that ultimately come together for a basketball celebration. A jumper by Benji Lundberg at the other end of the floor puts the Panthers back up by 2, 8-6, 10.5 to go first half. Marine uses up the dribble, hands it back to Gassner. Don't know if they put a sub in. I guess Heitman is a new player that came in at that previous whistle, and Scherhammer as well. So each team, when they had the opportunity a little while ago, put in a couple of new players. Out to Marion, out by the large CU at midcourt here at Concordia University, St. Paul. Marine drives in and sneaking along the baseline. Coming up with the steal is Benji Lundberg. And then Lundberg's pass goes over to the left wing. Oakley Baker for three. 11-6. Panthers under 10 to play first half. By the way, Jack Schultz checked into the game at one of those recent whistles, and Tyler Raymond is about to come back into the game. Backing in on Schultz. Turnaround jumper is good for Heitman. Ethan Heitman, who I don't believe had scored in the state tournament up until this point. 11-8. Panthers leading over Lake City. Schultz has it on the right wing. He's outside the arc. Schultz now puts it on the floor, hands it off to Lundberg. Benji looks and shoots and drills it. Benji Lundberg. Not a big-time three-point shooter, but he hit that one. And it is 14-8 NRHEG. Driving in, floater missed, and I'm not sure if that was tipped back in or not. No, I think it was Gassner. The initial shot, it was not tipped back in. Gassner scored on the shot, 14-10. Baker for three. You better believe it. Baker with his second three. The Panthers now are 3 for 6 on three-pointers in the first half. 3 players for each team getting set to come in. Marine is hammered as he goes to the hoop. Schultz on one side, Baker on the other. And actually, Youngblood called on the foul. Youngblood called on the foul. His second. First free throw for Marine is in. One more coming. He's 2 out of 3 so far from the free throw line. 72% free throw shooter. Brady is back in. And Brady Agramson is back in. Baker, Lundberg, and Raymond. Raymond also just checked back in. Free throw misses, swatted into the corner by Lake City. And that's where it will be, flying out of bounds off Lake City. 8:30 to go in the first half, 17-11. New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva leading in this Consolation Championship game on Cat Country. Brought to you by Cashwise Foods Owatonna and Lurberg's Fitness of Ellendale. So the Panthers will go ahead into the front court. They're attacking the basket to my right. Panthers dressed in black. There's the athletic move through the lane. Missed. Baker offensive rebound up and in. Oakley Baker, 19-11. Panthers at the other end. A toss to the outside. Heisey throws it back into the corner to Coase. 19-11 NRHEG, 8 minutes to go in the first half. Passed into the corner. Coming out of the corner with it. Lake City off the bench was Charlie White. Coase on the dribble. Passes this now to Meyer. Another bench player. Open from the left corner for three. Too strong. Rebounded by Raymond off the miss by Bremer. Panthers and Tigers pretty even in rebounding. The Tigers are 1 for 6 in shooting three-pointers. The Panthers are 3 for 6. There's one from the corner that misses. Offensive rebound, Tyler Raymond, however. Raymond has 8, and it's 21-11. New Richland Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva. Timeout is taken. It's just a quick timeout, but let's go ahead and take a break ourselves. Panthers by 10. 7:20 to go in the first half. Back with more basketball in 30 seconds on Cat Country 105.
It's an exciting time of year watching your kids, grandkids.
Inbound belongs to the Tigers. Inbounded from right in front of me as I sit courtside, pretty much at half court as well, here at Concordia at the Gangelhoff Center for this consolation final. Winner will end up 2-1 at state. Lake City with the ball. They go inside. Patience, but then the ball swatted away by Tyler Raymond. And then at the other end, Raymond tries to finish the fast break. He looks to be fouled by Bremer. And Tyler Raymond will go to the free throw line. And actually, Coase is the one called on the foul. Tyler Raymond goes to the free throw line. Missed his one opportunity a little while ago, that and one chance. Here he gets two, misses the first. So Raymond will have another. Up 21-11, NRHEG. Shot is good. Now 22-11. Raymond had 13 points in the loss to Cathedral, scored just 4 points, but had 5 rebounds and 3 assists and a steal and a few blocks in yesterday's game. So Raymond might not have had a big point total as Marion gets fouled at the other end, and he'll go to the free throw line for 2. But Raymond was certainly still a huge factor in getting that win yesterday over Breckenridge. Foul is on Sam Prigge, which looks to be his second and the team's 5th. Marion at the line, misses the first. He is now 2 out of 5 on free throws. Another free throw coming. On its way, and that one does fall through. So each time he's gone to the line 3 times, he's hit 1 out of 2. 10-point lead for NRHEG. 6.5 minutes to go in the first half. A full review of stats coming up at halftime. As Oakley Baker drills another three-pointer from well out high on the left wing. Well outside the arc. He's got 11 points, 3 threes, and a two-pointer as well. 25-12 NRHEG, 6:15 to go in the first half. Marine on the left side. He'll cross over, take it to the lane, give it out to Coase. A really long 3. Missed it, and the rebound hauled down by Tyler Raymond. Panthers will move into the front court. Lundberg fakes a pass one way. Brady Agramson has it on the left wing. And now they swing it over to the right. Lobbed inside for Raymond. Slam! A slam for Tyler Raymond on the feed from Benji Lundberg. 27-12, a timeout. A timeout by Lake City. The Panthers are running away early with this consolation final, leading 27-12, 5:40 to go in the first half. Lake City fans are trying to fire up their team. 5.5 to go in the first half, and 27-12. NRHEG with the lead. Tiger basketball. Marine drives up the lane, stops, waits, shoots over Raymond, and scores. 27-14 Panthers. Lundberg crosses the timeline. Benji, shake and bake, up he goes, and got fouled, and will go to the free throw line. Quite a dynamic player. Benji Lundberg. Marine on the foul, his first, team's third. Lundberg to the free throw line, 82% free throw shooter. Shot on its way is good. Panthers are certainly going to have a lot of holes to fill next season when you lose 5 starting seniors, of course, and Schultz, who comes in off the bench, senior-wise, and contributes quite a bit from a defensive standpoint. But with Lundberg, they've certainly got a great one. Agramson also comes off the bench quite quickly in these games. And with a 29-14 lead. As long as you didn't have to take the power strip I'm plugged into. No, we're good on that? All right. Kind of fight for power here at Concordia St. Paul. They've got one side of the court, which is entirely set up for media. There's a lot of media here in this consolation bracket. Shot misses. Agramson, that's Brady on the rebound on the three-point effort that misses for Lake City. The Tigers are 1 for 8 on three-pointers. The Panthers are 4 out of 8. That's only part of the story of the differential in score in this game, though, 29-14. Although it's a big part of it. There's a long three, but that one was offline. That was offline. Although, here's the ruling. That three-point try was actually blocked. It was blocked by Heisey. So that's good for him. I had to wonder how Baker would shoot a three and not even draw iron. It was just barely grazed out of his hands. Now, from his knees, Baker passes it to Raymond after he got bumped down. No call, no need for a whistle on the play. Panthers keep it, though. Agramson, good head fake, steps in from 18 and knocks it down. That's Brady Agramson. 31-14, 3:45 to go in the first half. Coach Berge has already used 2 timeouts. Don't know what more he can do. His team not hitting shots. Even when they're in the lane and patient, it just is not there. Then a rainbow shot is way off mark and rebounded by Baker. 3.5 to go in the first half. Panthers into the front court. There's Benji Lundberg. It's wide open up the lane. He was short on his shot, however. Rebounded by Lake City. On the run, the Panthers, no-look pass underneath, but Raymond got there. Then they kick it outside. Marine for 3. Marine hits the shot. Still 31-17 Panthers. 3:05 to go in the first half. Oakley Baker, left wing. He's way out. Agramson inside. Raymond runs into an opponent. Then has the ball almost stripped away, but Tyler fights for it again. Now does get it stolen away by Gassner. That'll be a Panther turnover. If it's possible, that's their first turnover of the game with only 2:45 to go in the first half. I've only got Lake City themselves with only 1 turnover as well. Marine bounces it down low to Coase. Coase backing in on Lundberg. Nice sharp passing, but they can't find an open man. Lake City's Coase. My goodness, he knocks down an NBA-style three. That was a long way away. 31-20. 2:15 to go in the first half of another quick-moving consolation game. Consolation title game as it is. Brady Agramson, step back, doesn't take the three. Baker, now Lundberg in the corner. Now that's Chad Agramson to Baker for a three. Yeah, his 4th three of the first half. Now it wasn't quite as long as Coase's was a moment ago, but it still counts for the same. He's got 14 points. Oakley Baker, 14 points. Panthers lead 34-20. Game today brought to you by Floors for You at Ellendale and First National Bank, Waseca, Ellendale, and Hope. Minute 35 to go first half. Coase, are you kidding? That was practically from the center logo here at Concordia. He missed it. Panthers rebound it. But they just can't find anything close. 34-20 Panthers. Lundberg gets in a little trouble. Turnaround fadeaway, missed it. Got his own rebound, but then had it jabbed out of his hands. Lake City into the front court. Coase, this time from a more normal distance, does hit the three. Coase has more than 80 three-pointers on the season. Similar total number to what Oakley Baker has for the Panthers. Oakley Baker tries to answer. Tell you what, he just hit a three and got fouled on the play. Oakley Baker gets a chance at a 4-point play. Top that. And that's his 5th three-pointer of the first half. Foul is on Heisey, his first, team's 4th. 37-23. Just under a minute to go in the first half. And Baker, 80% free throw shooter. He's already at 17 points in the game, make it 18. He averages 17 points per game, and he's at 18. Under a minute to go first half, 38-23 Panthers. Lundberg almost got a steal on Coase. Coase will hand it off to Schurhammer. Back outside to Coase. And Lundberg, I think, might get called for the foul. Quick feet by Coase. Forced Lundberg to kind of slide into a defensive position and get called on the foul. His first, team's sixth. 46 seconds to go in the first half. Long inbound into the backcourt, and Lundberg almost cut Coase's feet out from under him when he leapt in the air to catch that high inbound. Coase skips it across the top of the key, left side for Heisey. Marine on the right side, flings it back to Coase. Baker gets in his face pretty quickly. Coase can't really shoot over the long, lanky Oakley Baker at 6'5", but from the left corner, Reed Gassner on a three. 38-26. Lundberg nifty behind the back dribble as he crosses the timeline and gives to Baker. 13 seconds to go in the first half. Panthers 38-26 over Lake City. Consolation title game. Agramson, now Lundberg, 4 seconds to go. Lundberg to Baker, catches. He got bumped. The shot got blocked. He got bumped. The ruling is that the shot was blocked, and then the rebound was grabbed by the Panthers. But from an off-balance back to the basket, half-court heave, Benji Lundberg was not terribly close on that particular shot. What a great first half for the Panthers, though. NRHEG leading at the break, 38-26 over Lake City. We'll take a 2-minute break, come back, and start to review some of the statistics of this first half of the Consolation AA Boys Basketball Championship game. New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva leading 38-26. Back to Concordia in 2 minutes on Cat Country 105. Halftime has arrived in the Consolation AA Championship basketball game here at Concordia. And NRHEG, they jumped out 6-1. Lake City pulled even at 6. And then the Panthers went on a big run. And Lake City worked the basket in here and there. But at one point, the Panthers were up by 15 points. Looks to be their biggest lead that they had on a couple of occasions. Nope, now I'm seeing a 17-point lead at one time, 31-14. Right now at the half, 38-26. 18 points in the game for Oakley Baker, 11 points for Tyler Raymond, 7 for Lundberg, and 2 for Brady Agramson. Just the 4 players have scored for New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva. 11 points in the first half for Marine to lead the way for Lake City. Actually, we're getting a score sheet, full stat chart being handed to us right now. Great job by the Concordia University staff working with the Minnesota State High School League for this basketball tournament. 105th Minnesota State High School basketball tournament. And Lake City, they've been around the tournament since the third tournament in 1915. Now, this is their 7th appearance at state. They haven't come on an annual basis over 100 and some years, but they were there at the beginning in 1915 playing at the state tournament, which I think in the first few years might have been held at Carleton College in Northfield. In any case, Lake City back at state for the first time since 1990 with this year's appearance, NRHEG in their very first ever state tournament appearance. Some of the team statistics in the first half, the Panthers 58% shooting, 6 for 12 on three-pointers. For Lake City, 39% shooting. They did start to heat up from three-point range, and they're 5 for 14. I think at one point they were 1 for 8, so they did get a little hotter from downtown. Part of that was Coase hitting some really long three-pointers, a couple of them anyway. So the three-point shooting has come around a bit for Lake City, and you got to expect that to happen. Coach Churchill said in the pregame that this Lake City team is a good shooting team. Other team statistics, rebounds are 16-10 in favor of NRHEG. Each team has just 1 turnover. Panthers have 9 assists, led by Benji Lundberg, 7 points, 5 assists for Benji, and 3 assists on the part of Lake City. A lot of teams, a lot of games, a 10, 12-point lead has not been enough. I can think of 3 games. The Apple Valley win over Cretin, they had to come from behind. The Champlain Park win over Chaska in the first round, they came from 12 down. I know Springfield was trailing Nevis by about 10 or 12 points in the first half and came back to win. So a 12-point lead is nice, but another half of basketball is yet to come. It's 38-26, NRHEG leading Lake City at the half. Let's take a 2-minute break, and I'll take you around the state tournament for the other brackets and other games that are going on today. I'll run through on those notes in 2 minutes on Cat Country 105. This is the Consolation Championship game in Class AA. New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva leading 38-26. Gordy Kosfeld is down at Target Center right now. The Goodhue basketball game should be underway in Class A. Minneapolis North was playing at Springfield in the early semifinal. I know North was ahead at one point. I never saw a final score on that one. I presume that Minneapolis North is going to win. They have been stomping their way through the tournament. They have indicated that they are going to opt up AAA for next season. But Minneapolis North and Springfield, I know North was leading. Goodhue should be underway against Northwoods. Northwoods made it into the semifinals with a buzzer-beating end to their game yesterday over Central Minnesota Christian. So Goodhue and Northwoods, you can catch that game on KDHL AM 920. It should still be going after we're done here. KDHL AM 920 out of Faribault, Minnesota in their 69th year of covering baseline to baseline the Minnesota State High School Boys Basketball Tournament. Later on today, the AA semifinals, Minnehaha Academy and Annandale at 6 o'clock tonight, and St. Cloud Cathedral against Crosby Ironton at about 8 o'clock tonight, and both of those games will be on KDHL AM 920. Yesterday in AAA, Minneapolis De La Salle defeated Columbia Heights 86-60, and the Austin Packers advanced to the state championship game 73-53 over Marshall. And last night in 4A, caught the end of the Apple Valley game as I was heading home listening to Gordy. Apple Valley beat Maple Grove 77-54, and the Eagles will play Champlin Park in tomorrow night's state championship game. Champlin Park unbeaten on the season, 70-62 winners yesterday over Wayzata. By the way, the Lakeville North versus Cretin-Durham Hall game in the Consolation Championship at 6 p.m. will be a Power 96 broadcast. Lakeville North against Cretin-Durham Hall, Power 96, and yours truly will be covering that for our friends out of the Faribault market. 38-26, Panthers with the ball to start off the second half. Youngblood, Prigge, Agramson, Baker, Raymond, starting five out there for coach. Pat Churchill, assisted by Chad Budendorf, Isaiah Lundberg, and Sam Lundberg. It's a scramble on the floor. Lake City seems to have come up with the ball, and they have. So a turnover on NRHEG. Oh, no, it was a timeout. The player was on the floor. 30-second timeout. I'll hold it here this time. Timeout was taken by Lake City. It is a turnover, and the player who was laying on the floor holding the ball with Panthers surrounding him, he really couldn't do anything but get a timeout called. This Lake City team, they played a lot of big schools this season. One of their losses came to Robbinsdale Cooper, a 4A team, and they also beat Rosemount, a 4A team. Another loss came to Stewartville, a 3A team, and they beat Stewartville once. And they beat a couple of other AAA teams, notably Byron, as well as Cass and Manorville. So here in the AA tournament, Lake City, a team that plays a lot of bigger schools during the season, Triple and 4A. NRHEG had that loss to Waseca, who's a highly ranked AAA team. That is the only AAA team they played this season. NRHEG did not play any 4A teams like Lake City did. Lake City with a pretty good schedule. Here's a three-point effort by the Tigers. It's good. Reed Gassner, he's hit about 50 three-pointers on the season. 38-29. The Tigers quickly pull within 10. Panthers will look to answer. Agramson in the left corner comes out on the wing, passes it to Prigge. 9-point difference, 1 minute in to the second half. Inside to Raymond, backdoor to Agramson, lost the ball off his foot. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers by NRHEG. That's already more turnovers than they had in the entire first half. Coase, Mark Coase, he can hit the three, and he can hit the three from Minneapolis, as he indicated on that long shot Late stages first half. Drive by Marine. Little short on his shot, but then a nice tap out, and Lake City. 3-point effort misses. Panthers rebound. Minute and a half into the second half. Panthers lead is 9. And there's a foul on Lake City. 2 shots coming up for Jason Youngblood. Foul is on Zach Bramer. His second, team's first. 2 shots for Jason Youngblood, 73% free throw shooter. First shot rims out. Today's coverage is brought to you by H&R Block. I ran through some of those stats for you, and stats throughout the game, throughout the tournament. Presented by H&R Block. They know taxes. H&R Block, Owatonna, Faribault, and Lakeville. Second free throw is good for Youngblood. Back to a 10-point lead for the Panthers, 39-29, minute and a half into the second half. Marine drops a pass down low. He turned it over. Each team had 1 turnover in the first half. NRHEG already has 2, and now Lake City committed their first. Seeing the tables turn a lot in these games here at the state tournament, the games I've had the opportunity to cover for KDHL anyway. I've seen a couple where one half and the other half didn't resemble each other at all. What went right for one team, all one half went terribly wrong in the next half. So hang tight, we could be in for a ride. Agramson inside the Youngblood, he'll back off. Into the corner, Oakley Baker. Baker gets position, pulls up to the free throw line, missed the shot. Rebounded by Lake City. Into the front court, into the hands of Coase. There's a long 3. That one's short. A really long 3. It's amazing where he will launch it from. Now he can hit it sometimes as well. He's hit those shots. Benji Lundberg uses up his dribble. Entry pass to Raymond. Raymond scoops it up and in. Tyler Raymond had 11 in the first half. Now he's at 13 points. 41-29, New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva. Coase guarded by Lundberg. Coase hands it off as he gets in deep to Gassner. Gassner comes out across the top of the key, gives to Marine, guarded by Youngblood. Marine drives, puts it up and in. Nice job twisting through a pair of players, including Raymond. 41-31, NRHEG by 10, 14:45 to go in the second half. Consolation Championship play. Lundberg baseline fadeaway, missed it. Rebounded by Lake City. Panthers right now, I think, they're only 1 for 3 shooting in this second half, so it isn't that bad by any stretch. But each shot that they missed was a quick defensive rebound by Lake City. Driving in Marine, he'll spin, lean, shoot, score. Now it's 41-33, and a timeout will be taken by New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva. There's a little bit of a run to start this second half, which included a 3-pointer. And now it's an 8-point game, 41-33. We've got a timeout on the floor. More basketball in 1 minute on Cat Country 105. Coming out of the Panthers timeout, Oakley Baker drills another long 3 from the left wing this time. 44-33 Panthers. Coase at the other end tosses it outside to Gassner. Coast has it once again. Coase, K-J-O-S. He's guarded by Prigge. Hands it off into the corner. Rainbow shot, 3. That was a 3. That's Nathan Heisey. Now, we have not heard from him from downtown yet, but Heisey is a guy who has more than 70 three-pointers on the season. Again, back to Coach Pat Churchill's comments. This Lake City team can shoot. Coming in is Brady Agramson. He fakes a 3, sneaks around the defender, takes it into the lane, hits the jumper. 46-36 Panthers. Coase tosses it across the top to Gassner. Gassner, top of the lane, looks for help to Coase. Left wing outside the arc, fakes a pass, takes a shot, missed the shot, rebounded by Raymond. Tyler Raymond will hand it off to Agramson. And the Panthers cross the timeline. They're attacking the basket to my left. There's Brady Agramson, puts the shoulder down, then gets blocked. And the indication is the player got him on the arm. It was not a clean block. Lake City fans not too thrilled with that call. It's one of those close ones that could go either way. Could have simply been a clean block of the shot, but instead it's a foul on number 24 at Bramer, and it is his third. 2 shots for Agramson. Brady Agramson hits the first. He's got 5 points in the game. Agramson had 3 against Cathedral, then had 5 against Breckenridge. Brady averages 5 points a game. He's at 5 right now, 75% free throw shooter, and he's got 1 more coming. 47-36 Panthers. Second free throw good as well, 48-36. NRHEG, 12:45 to go in the second half. Consolation Championship play from Concordia. Driving in, spin move, Marine hesitates, stuffed by Tyler Raymond. Out of bounds off Tyler, so it's an inbound play for Lake City. Marine will look to put it into the right corner. And knocked out of bounds by NRHEG. So still belongs to the Tigers. Inbounded to Coase. He'll be guarded by Prigge. Now over to the right side with it was Gassner. Gives to Marine. Marine in the corner. Now he'll go inside. Boy, you got Tyler Raymond just standing there, arms high in the air. Long range shot misses. Rebounded by NRHEG. 12 minutes to go in the game. 48-36 Panthers. Battling for the consolation title. Here's Oakley Baker with a downtown three. 7 3-pointers in the game for Oakley Baker. Goodness gracious, Oakley. 51-36, Panthers, 11:45 to go. Coase tries to drive on Prigge, behind the back dribble, pulls up, tosses it outside to Gassner. It's crazy, the 3-pointers these guys are launching. At the other end, a 3 misses, rebounded by NRHEG. Lundberg comes into the front court. There's Baker from the corner. He can only get so deep in the corner. Prigge, offensive rebound. How about that by Sam Prigge? He's added a lot. He had rebounds, several rebounds in each of the games up until now, even though his scoring hasn't been there a lot. He's had a bunch of rebounds in this game. Senior for NRHEG, Sam Prigge. Now it's Lundberg. Crossover dribble, gets tied up in the free throw circle. Gives to Brady Agramson as the clock goes under 11 minutes to go. 51-36 Panthers inside to Baker, and Baker can do that too. Banks in a 2. 53-36. The Panthers right now are on a 9-0 run that started when Lake City got within 44-36. Now a 3-pointer by Heisey, his second. That'll end the big 9-0 run. 53-39 NRHEG with 10.5 to go. Second half, consolation final from Concordia St. Paul, home of the Golden Bears. Agramson to Prigge. Raymond comes out top. Prigge will put it on the floor. Drive hard, leave it over for Lundberg. Toss it to Agramson, top of the key. That's Brady. Brady back to Lundberg on the right. Lundberg drives, baseline, tried to hand it off to Prigge underneath, and the Panthers are appealing for a touch by Lake City. It'll simply be a turnover on New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva. Chad Agramson back in, and Jack Schultz has come back into the game as well. Under 10 minutes to play. 53-39, an opening for Coase, and he'll go with the running one-hander. And now it is 53-41. 9:45 to go. There's Lundberg to the hoop. Missed the shot. Marine gets the rebound on the Panther miss. Marine lost the ball. Turnover. Foul as Baker.
Black here.
Baker is fouled. He followed through. He was fouled near half court. He followed through all the way to the hoop and laid the ball in. But they're going to take it all the way back out here to half court. That foul, by the way, was on Heisey, his second, and the team's third of the second half. 9:20 remaining. Panthers by 12. 53-41. Jack Schultz, he's well out on the right wing. He was looking for a pass inside, but that didn't materialize. Now here's Baker for a long three. Missed it, but who got the rebound? Oakley Baker. Baseline jumper, good. Baker got his own rebound. He is up to 28 points in the game. Oakley Baker for the two to make it 55-41. Panthers come up with a steal. Long pass ahead all by himself is Benji Lundberg layup. Absolutely, entirely all by himself. Benji Lundberg completes the fast break. Points off turnover. Panthers now 57-41 in this consolation final. Brought to you by Federated Mutual Insurance here on Cat Country 105, KRFO. Owatonna, Cat Country 105, Owatonna. Coast drives in, fakes a shot out to Marine. Right side, Gassner spins around, looks for somebody, he'll throw it to Coast. Down to 8 minutes to go. Step back, Coast, nope, he'll give it to a teammate who will launch a long three. That's the third three of the second half for Heisey. Heisey has 2 threes, three threes. Marine has a pair, Gassner has a couple, Coase has a couple. That's 4 different players for Lake City that can shoot 3-pointers. Here's Oakley Baker. He got hit on that one, no foul. Out of bounds off Lake City. I don't know if I'm not sure if that shot was partially blocked or if a Lake City player got a piece of the rebound before it went out of bounds, but the ruling is Panther ball. Panther basketball. Inbounded to Benji Lundberg right in front of me. He'll hand it off to Baker. Baker's had a monster game. 28 points, 2, 4, 6, 7 3-pointers. Baker backs down his man. Turnaround jumper, missed it, but he drew the foul on Scherhammer. And Oakley Baker, 1 for 1 from the free throw line, will make his way back to the stripe. What's interesting about that one make on a free throw for Oakley, it was on a 3-pointer. He got fouled on a 3-pointer for a rare 4-point play, which he converted. Now he goes for kind of a standard 2-shot opportunity at the line. First free throw good. 29 points now for Oakley Baker. Future St. John's Johnny. He'll be in the All-Star game at the end of the month. Free throws made. And he is now at 30 points in the game. 59-44. Shot at the other end is good. Marine on the basket. 59-46. A little slow on the scoreboard there sometimes. 59-46, I believe. Although the scoreboard doesn't show that yet. Baker in the lane, twist, shoots, no! That was partially blocked and then rebounded. At the other end, the basket is good for Heisey. Quick points for Lake City. All right, I'll confess I'm a little bit confused. I don't know that they put the basket up there that Marine scored. Well, here's a steal by Coase, taps it down the floor, races to get there. By that time, the defense is back. Coase will throw it to the top of the key. Gassner for 3. That one misses. Baker gets the rebound, and then there's a tie-up. The ball goes out of the hands of Agrimson, rolls out of bounds, and it belongs to Lake City. By the way, they did catch up on the scoreboard finally. I'm always worried when my book doesn't match the scoreboard, as I do try to write down every basket. 59-48 on the board and in the book. 59-48 Panthers with the 11-point advantage with 6:10 remaining in the second half of this consolation final. This is it, last game. No game tomorrow for anybody. We're just going to watch basketball tomorrow. Missed shot, offensive rebound, Lake City. A long three, misses. And Youngblood gets the rebound, stealing that away from his teammate, Chad Agrimson. The seats are all full. The area behind the baskets are full. as fans and players are getting here for the next game. Benji Lundberg, a runner to the hoop. 61-48 Panthers. NRHEG averages 62 points per game. What did they score yesterday? They had 65 yesterday, and they're up at 61 right now with 5.5 minutes to go. They have shot the ball incredibly well. A block by Tyler Raymond. He stuffed Marine that time. To the other end, Lundberg leaves it for Raymond. Flush by Tyler Raymond. 63-48. 63-48, but a delay of game warning on NRHEG. A delay of game warning on NRHEG. I think the Panthers just took a timeout. Raymond looks like he's either apologizing or says he understands, because he did talk to the official as he walked by. Timeout was taken by Lake City, by the way. So a Tiger timeout, 5:09 to play in the game, 63-48. New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva. Here at the Gangelhoff Center. More basketball in 30 seconds on Cat Country 105.
It's an exciting time of year watching your kids, grandkids, or friends play in NRHEG Panther events. First National Bank of Waseca, Ellendale, and Hope offers you a great way to show your support for all of the area programs with the Panther debit card. Each time you use your Panther debit card, First National Bank donates back to NRHEG area schools. Carry the card that gives back. Stop into First National Bank and show your Panther support. First National Bank, Waseca, Ellendale, Hope, member FDIC. NRHEG PTO fundraiser, auction, live and silent, Saturday the 1st, Wedgwood Cove, Albert Lee. A community update brought to you by Kex Repair and Kex Quick Lube.
63-48. 63-48. 23rd. One thing I'm not sure about is the number of points they've credited Oakley Baker with on the board. On the board, they show 29. I've got him for 30. We'll see what adds up at the end of the game and how many points he actually has. Here's Kos. Good grief. Another one of those really long trays. 63-51. There's still 4:40 to go. Tigers are not going to give up. They can shoot. They can shoot the lights out. So can Baker. Baker gives to Lundberg. Lundberg to Agramson. Now Youngblood. Baker catches, shoots. That three probably was too short. He was probably too close with that three-point try, which was only a college three and not an NBA three, which these guys are now shooting here on a pretty regular basis. Not to say that there's an NBA line on the floor, but they're shooting some awfully long threes. There was a long three. From the corner. Shot missed. Rebound by Tyler Raymond. And then trying to steal the ball away. The ball ends up going out of bounds off Lake City. Tiger fans didn't like something that transpired right there, but it is Panther ball. So a three-pointer missed. Raymond the rebound. Now the inbound goes to Youngblood. 4 minutes remaining in this consolation final. Boy, talk about a quick game. It started about an hour ago, and we've got 4 minutes to go in the second half. I don't know if Lake City's going to resort to fouling. They're playing really tight defense, and that one goes out of bounds off of the Lake City player, Marine. He was trying to jar the ball free from Lundberg. Lundberg is able to play it in now right in front of me. He'll put it into Oakley Baker. Baker with 7 3-pointers on the game. Top of the key, crossover dribble, and he is, an offensive foul on Oakley Baker. Oakley Baker, now it's only a second foul. That'll be a turnover on the Panthers, their 5th. Stats are a service of H&R Block. It's on a Faribault in Lakeville. They know taxes at H&R Block. Into the front court is Kos. He'll toss it over to Gassner. 3:30 to go, 12-point difference. Gassner around and around and around he goes. Passes it all the way across to the other side. Three-pointer up and off. Rebounded by Benji Lundberg, but it was stolen away from him. Lake City ball. Handed off to Kos. Kos, top of the key, in the free throw circle. Backs off a step. Stutter in, out, shot, good for Kos. 63-53. Full court pressure now by Lake City. Inbounded to Youngblood. Youngblood has Heisey to deal with. Now they come and double team him. Throws it ahead. Ooh, that was almost an over and back. Panthers almost lost it. Now they do throw it away. Got a little ragged there. Baker, as he came back to catch the ball on a pass ahead by Youngblood, almost crossed back over the timeline. And then he did get the pass off, but then a teammate was looking for an open Panther underneath the hoop. Turnover, 10-point difference. Lake City ball, 2:45 to go second half. Game today brought to you by Brian Wayne, Pioneer Seed. Gassner for three. I cannot believe how far out these guys are making three-pointers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 three-pointers made in the second half. Going for the steal. Coast now trapped at the timeline is Baker. He gets fouled. It'll be an inbound play for NRHEG. It'll be the 5th foul of the half on Lake City. Marine, just his 2nd foul. Team's 5th. Inbound play for the Panthers. Boy, I see these guys standing right in front of me, and they are all winded. They've been playing hard in this consolation final. Marine will foul Lundberg, and that is the 6th. That last 3 made by Lake City. They're on an 8-0 run, 63-56. 7-point lead now for the Panthers with still 2:21 to go. Inbound is caught by Baker. He is really hounded, but he gets out of trouble. Lobs it ahead for Agramson in the corner. Youngblood comes back out top to Baker. Baker has Marine on his hip. Marine reaches around, commits the foul, and Baker will go to the free throw line. Now that's his 4th. He's picked up 3 very quick fouls. I think that's 7. Yeah, that's 7. At the line is Oakley Baker. Now in the first half, they had Baker, just to double check, 18 points. I still think they're missing a point for Baker on the board. 3-6. 1 and 1 good. Front end is good. So that's, by my count, 31 points for Oakley Baker. 64-56. Both free throws good. He's 5 for 5. 65-56. Panthers take a short timeout. 2:08 to play. The lead is 9. We're back with more basketball in 30 seconds on Cat Country 105. Remember, fans, when this game is all done, you can tune to Gordy Kosfeld on KDHL AM 920 for the Goodhue basketball game. Goodhue playing in the state semifinals right now against Northwoods. There's Coast for 3, missed it. Baker the rebound. Full court pressure by Lake City. They go for a steal, but the Panthers get the ball into the front court, and then there is a foul committed. And a 1-and-1 opportunity coming up for Agramson. Chad Agramson will go to the line. Agramson had 9 points in the opening game, 9 points in yesterday's game. First point will come if he makes this free throw in today's game. And he does. Agramson, better than a 70% free throw shooter. And the second free throw. Good as well. The Panthers' lead is now 67-56. 1:45 remaining. Today's game brought to you by Holland Ag in Ellendale. Coase for the basket. And that was a 2. And a quick foul. 67-58. 1:39 to go. The Panthers hit their free throws. This thing is over. If they don't, we're going to see how sharp Lake City is shooting three-pointers. Cat Country, KRFO-FM Owatonna. Roy Koenig with the coverage. And Jeff back at the Cat Country 105 studios. Oakley Baker, good on the first. That was the 9th foul, so this is the final 1-and-1. Baker 6 for 6 from the line. Second free throw up and in. 7 for 7 from the line, which means he now has as many free throws made as he has three-pointers made, as he's up to 34 points. Three-point try misses. Gassner rebound, up and off. And then Raymond battles hard for the rebound. They are still wrestling. My goodness. A jump ball. That's as hard as I've seen two guys wrestle for a loose ball. They were wrestling on the floor. They rivaled some of the wrestling matches at the X a couple of weeks ago. They were going hard for that basketball. So it was an offensive rebound, a couple of missed shots. And then Lake City gets a ball, and Lake City player shooting, misses the shot, but got fouled. Now, was he shooting a three? He was deep in that left corner. Foul is on Agrimson. Yes, it is a three-shot foul on Agrimson. Not what the Panthers want happening. The chance for points with no time coming off the clock. Minute 25 to go. Free throw good. Second one to come for Gassner. 75% free throw shooter. These are his first of the game. 69-59. Second free throw good. 69-60. Still 125 to go in this consolation final, brought to you by Corn Palace Ag Center in New Richland and GMI Ritter Insurance Owatonna. And the final one misses. Raymond gets the rebound that almost fell off his fingertips. Some good pressure. Baker comes ahead, gets trapped, falls down. Falls down. Now it is a foul that should put Baker to the free throw line. Coase on the foul. That's his fourth. And Baker to the free throw line. This is a two-shot foul. 69-60. Free throw rattles home. Baker, the Panthers' all-time leading scorer, having a big game here. We'll check the official stats at the end of the game and make sure everything adds up, but I believe he's at 35 points. Second one good as well. 9 for 9 on free throws. 71-60 with 1:15 to play. Coase on the dribble. He's trying to free himself up for a long three, and he hit it. 71-63, 1:05 to go. Full court pressure. With the ball is Baker. Baker gets trapped. Baker's pass. Now it's ahead. Youngblood crosses the timeline. He'll slow it down and give it back to Baker. If there's somebody the Panthers want to have the ball in his hands, it is Mr. Baker. And Youngblood was looking for Baker, who hustled into the front court to catch the ball, get fouled, and go to the free throw line. First foul on Gassner. 2 shots at the line for Baker. 9 for 9 on free throws. The Panthers in the second half are 14 for 15 on free throws. Now they just hit one more. 72-63, 53 and a half seconds to go. Panthers on the verge of a consolation championship. Following in the steps of the girls 1 week ago. Second free throw good as well. Now 11 for 11 from the line for Oakley Baker. Here's Coase. He'll drive inside, put it outside for Bramer for three. That's his first three-pointer. Timeout taken by Lake City. 73-66. Checking to see if this is a full timeout. Full timeout. Whoa. Well, I'm going to catch my breath for a moment. We'll hear from one of our sponsors. 73-66 Panthers. 44 seconds to go in the consolation final. Back with more in 30 seconds on Cat Country 105. They have just announced, and I've been notified otherwise as well, that Oakley Baker has just reached his 2,000th career point. It either came on the last free throw or one a couple before that, but 2,000 career points for Oakley Baker and a 73-66 lead. Oakley Baker's pass is blocked out of bounds by Lake City. There's a bit of a collision as one player was trying to prevent another player from getting the loose ball. No foul called. That block on the pass by Lake City means it's Panther ball, 37 seconds to go. Lundberg looking for someone to lob it into. Instead, it'll go out top to Agrimson. 35 seconds remaining. And now it is Baker that has it, and Baker gets hacked by Heisey. So 2 more free throws coming up for the new 2,000-point man, Oakley Baker. Third on Heisey. 2 shots for Oakley Baker. 11 for 11 from the line. Over 2,000 points now in his career. And just smooth delivery on the free throw. And the man who knows how to spike the ball here at this noted volleyball facility, Concordia of St. Paul, Tyler Raymond, has come back into the game. He's had a couple of blocks today. He had a trio of blocks in yesterday's game. And 75-66. Heisey at the other end misses it. Raymond the rebound. He'll fire it out to Youngblood. And Youngblood, a little late on the whistle, is fouled by Marine, which will foul him out of the game. I believe that Raymond, during one of the games down in Mankato, had a block that sent the ball several rows into the bleachers, if I remember hearing Jason and Bjorn. I don't know about today's doing quite that, but he has stuffed a couple, certainly so, at this facility. Youngblood will be at the line for 2 with under 20 seconds to go. Oakley Baker checking out of the game. Big hug from Coach Churchill. And now with Isaiah Lundberg as well. Oakley Baker heading out of the ball game, wrapping up on his prep career. My goodness, what a career it has been. Gets hugs from everyone down the line. Youngblood, by the way, hit his free throw, so he's got 1 more. Also, Tyler Raymond, another senior, checking out of the game. Youngblood's second free throw is good. He made them both. 77-66, 20 seconds remaining. Coase in the front court. Coase with the ball, left side, shot on the way from long range, misses, rebounded by Agramson, and I think the Tigers are just going to let him go. 5 seconds to go. He just got across the timeline. They have. Panthers win it. New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva is the consolation champion here at the State High School Boys Basketball Tournament. NRHEG wins this one 77-66. They will have a little award ceremony. I hope to get some officials. Pardon me. Hope to get some official stats as well. We'll pause for 2 minutes. Panthers win 77-66 over Lake City. Back in 2 minutes on Cat Country 105. Well, the final score this afternoon, 77-66, New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva. Consolation champions. They've actually got the gang gathered up for a nice photo, which is more or less in front of me, but unfortunately a bunch of photographers are also in front of me, so I've got to kind of get into a position here, see if I can snap a shot. So bear with me here in this day and age of all the internet stuff that we do. Oops, I'm going to fall right down off my chair as well and create a spectacular crash. So they've got the nice photo op that's coming up. Well, yep, my photo is going to have all sorts of the backs of heads of lots of real photographers, so I've got to bail on that whole concept. So good thought, bad spot as far as that part goes. All right, 77-66. New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva with this victory as they get a nice round of applause from their fans, all standing behind me here. Coaches, Lundberg on one side and Churchill on the other. More people sprinting onto the floor to get their close-up shots. Oh, see if I'm patient enough, people are starting to scatter out, so now I can kind of do what we can. Also, good delay here because then we'll get the official stats, hopefully, as well. For this Panthers Consolation Championship. How about that? In their first appearance at the state tournament, they end up playing all 3 days. Have to overcome the disappointment of losing in that first round, but as Coach Churchill said, it would have been, when we talked to him yesterday, it would have been an awfully abrupt ending to the state tournament to be one game, you're done. So they were they enjoyed playing more basketball yesterday, and then they came out here today and got the Consolation Championship, and then to boot, crossing over the 2,000-point mark in his career for Oakley Baker. What an exclamation point that is for him to reach that point. I've got him for 40 points in today's game. 15 points for Raymond, 11 for Lundberg, 6 for Brady Agramson, 3 points for Youngblood, and 2 points for Chad Agramson in a quick count on the stat chart. On the other side for Lake City, 18 points for Coast, 17 points for Marine, 11 points for Heisey, 5 for Bramer, and what did we get here? 3, 6, 8, 10, 13 points for Gassner, and a couple of points for Heitman in the game as well. Panthers knew that Lake City could shoot, and my goodness, Lake City would shoot it from absolutely everywhere on the court. Of course, Oakley Baker has the ability to answer with some very similar threes from a long, long way away. We'll take one break. We'll come back. I'll add up a couple of other stats. Even if we don't have an official chart, I'll give you something, and we'll put a wrap on this basketball season for New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva. I talked to Activities Director Dan Stork before this game, and he said, as far as any sort of a welcome home or celebration, certainly not a welcome home tonight or tomorrow. And the reason being is that some of these guys want to watch the rest of the basketball tournament, and some of the girls are off on a Costa Rican trip right now. So, hey, if you've been listening in Costa Rica, I don't know if they're on the trip right now or when they're leaving, but hats off to you at CapCountry105.com or Radio Pup. Not sure how well we come in all these other parts of the world, but we know once in a while we do have international listeners to our broadcasts. But anyhow, just with that in mind, that some of the girls are not around, they don't want to do anything right away, so nothing official is going to be happening just yet in the way of a welcome home or a celebration. I imagine something will be set up at some point in time, and Stork more or less said that KRFO is the official station to listen to for a report on when that welcome home or basketball celebration will occur. Straight from Mr. Stork, that we're pretty much your official station for New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva news. So not sure if I can hold him to that, but that's kind of the way I interpreted some of his comments. So always enjoy talking to Dan, of course, about these sports-related activities. Let's take one final break and then put a wrap on it here from Concordia St. Paul. Consolation champions, NRHEG 77-66 over Lake City. And I am getting an official stat chart here in a moment, so I'll come back with those official numbers right after this on Cat Country 105. Well, final comments here from Concordia St. Paul, the Consolation Championship for New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva, 77-66 over Lake City. Indeed, 40 points on the day for Oakley Baker. He reached 40 points, 7 for 16 on three-pointers, 13 for 13 from the free throw line. Pretty amazing stat line for him. He had 5 rebounds, an assist, and a steal, and a block as well, to put an exclamation point on quite a career. Team stats, 56% shooting for the Panthers, 42% for Lake City. NRHEG was 8 for 18 on three-pointers for 45%, 13 for 35 three-pointers, 35 three-pointers launched by Lake City. They shot 37% on them. 5 for 9 from the free throw line for the Tigers, and 23 for 26 for the Panthers. Turnovers, 9 for NRHEG, just 4 for Lake City. 4 steals for Lake City, 3 steals for NRHEG. Panthers had 4 blocked shots, and you know who had 3 of them, Tyler Raymond. And then the other one, as I mentioned, went to Baker. A couple of blocked shots on the part of Lake City. Individual scoring, Oakley with the 40 points in the game. 15 points, 10 rebounds for Tyler Raymond. 11 points, 2 rebounds, and 10 assists. How's that for a double-double at the high school level? 10 assists to go with 11 points for Benji Lundberg. 6 points in the game for Brady Agramson. 3 points for Jason Youngblood. And 2 assists for 2 rebounds for Jason. And 2 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist for Chad Agramson. 18 points for Coase, 17 points for Marine, 13 points for Gassner, 11 points for Heisey, as the 4 players in double figures for Lake City. Congratulations to those seniors. What a way to wrap it up, just like the girls a week ago. Consolation champs, the boys for NRHEG are consolation champs here at the state basketball tournament. The seniors on this club include Carter Fisher, Jason Youngblood, Chad Agramson, Sam Prigge, Oakley Baker, Jack Schultz, and Tyler Raymond. They go out leaving a big mark, a great mark, a historic mark on New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva basketball. Hey, want to let you know, you can let your Panther fans and friends know that these games will be available, our radio broadcast of these games, on the Cat Country 105 YouTube channel. So look for that, Cat Country 105, and our YouTube channel for the games radio broadcasts. And you can hear Bjorn Peterson, who was on with me a couple of days ago back in that state quarterfinal game, and what a thrilling game that was. Not only winning the Consolation Championship here, but talk about the memories the Panthers will have of that come-from-behind game against St. Cloud Cathedral. Even though they lost, the way they came from behind, forced overtime, those are fun things to look back on in the years that will come. Big thanks to our sponsors, of course, that allow us to bring you high school sports on the radio. Included Lerberg's Fitness of Ellendale, Federated Mutual Insurance, Cashwise Foods of Owatonna, Broskoff Structures in Geneva, H&R Block, Owatonna, Faribault, and Lakeville. They present our stats from this game. And remember that no computer program can possibly answer every tax question and know every tax question. You need to go to the experts at H&R Block, Owatonna, Faribault, and Lakeville. Al's Body Shop in Ellendale, Holland Ag Ellendale, First National Bank, Waseca, Ellendale, and Hope, Floors for You in Ellendale, Corn Palace Ag Center in New Richland, GMI Ritter Insurance, Owatonna, Brian Wayne, Pioneer Seed, and Hy-Vee Foods of Owatonna. Big thanks to Jason Iacovino and Bjorn Peterson with all the coverage they did. Mark Lee, I think, was in on one game with Jason as well, and it's been my pleasure to sit in for all those basketball experts with the coverage here from the state tournament consolation bracket here from Concordia St. Paul, where the Panthers are consolation champions. Now a reminder that basketball coverage continues from the state tournament with KDHL AM 920. They are on with the Goodhue State semifinal game right now, the AA Championship semifinals later on tonight, and then all of the state championship games tomorrow will be on KDHL AM 920. I believe I'll have the AA and AAA game, and Gordy Kosfeld will bring you the Class A and 4A game. KDHL AM 920 tomorrow for all of the state championship boys basketball games for a 69th year. KDHL and Faribault presenting baseline-to-baseline coverage of the state boys basketball tournament. And one more programming note for now would be that the Lakeville North versus Cretin-Derham Hall consolation championship game can be heard on Power 96 radio tonight. Yours truly will have that game covered as well. So that'll take care of things. A big thanks to Jeff back at the studios. It's hard to believe the winter sports season is over for our immediate teams, the balance of the state boys basketball tournament aside, but for our immediate teams that we cover with KRFO Cat Country Radio, that's it on the winter sports season, but certainly a very memorable one. And I got to say, I've had a joy. I've had a great time going to the gymnastics tournament for Owatonna and the wrestling tournament for the area teams. I stopped at boys hockey just because I love to stop at boys hockey. Girls basketball, boys basketball. I even went to the adapted floor hockey tournament to catch the Owatonna Huskies play that day and saw a great crowd of fans. It's fun covering high school sports, and really honored to be able to continue to do so. So, for Jeff Woodrich back at the studios, my name's Roy Koenig. It is a consolation championship victory for New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva, 77-66 over Lake City. We'll talk to you with spring sports, or maybe you'll tune in for a little bit more of the basketball coverage. But for now, good afternoon from Concordia in St. Paul.